This question may be related to it in a way. I wanted to ask it on 4th of July, but can you explain what happened to the Native American Indians did happen? Did they attract that to themselves, that they were just overtaken within a few years and completely smashed?
Co-creating. In other words, as you find yourself without strong decision, and someone with strong decision comes upon you, very often you are swept up into that momentum, and then as the first little bit of it occurred, there was very negative response to it, and out of the negative response it begat more negative, which begat more negative. It is always hard to look back into history, or even to view something so large as the world. It is difficult for you even now to understand what is happening today in Iraq and Iran. For from your vantage point here, you do not have a clear picture. You do not understand the issues. You do not know what they want. You do not understand your government's part in it. All you know is that you are moving headlong into something very dramatic. All of you are feeling it and sensing it. But from your vantage point here, you cannot see very clearly. What we are encouraging, what we would have said to the Indians had we been interacting with them on the day of the first intrusion, and that was really what happened. Others came to the land that they had owned spiritually and said to them, "We like this place, we will live here," which means you must find another place, and they were reluctant to go, as any of you would be. And in their attention to the lack and the trauma, great confrontation came about. We don't need to give you the history lesson, you can read it. But it is our knowing that had they been able to focus more fully upon what they wanted, rather than getting immediately focused upon the lack of what they wanted, so that they would not have been overrun in the massive way that there were millions of them. And their pipelines or their networks from one to another were very, very powerful. And that is the reason that it spread so quickly, so rampantly, was because of the networks. It was a little bit like your television today. It would be very easy for you to know from one end of the world to the other what is happening, you see. It is always the same story. Any time that you are focused upon something that you do not want, you add power to it. It is always the same. What we are wanting you to understand is that in all of that coming and going, in all of that negative experience, while you may see what happened to the Indian nation as being very much more negative than anything that any of you are experiencing on a daily basis today, we say to you that all of it is for the sake of greater clarity. All of it is for the sake of understanding what you are wanting. All of that experience that is new is for the sake of greater understanding of what is wanted later. You can affect your nation, the decisions that are made by your leaders, if you are willing to focus clearly enough about what you are wanting. The reason that most of you are not very effective is because you either feel that it is too big of a project, too overwhelming, and so you don't try, or you get on the negative feeling of lack part of it and do your protest from your negative position rather than from your positive position. The reason that things have moved forward as positively as they have for you as a nation is because the majority of the balance of your thought has been pointed to what is wanted rather than toward the lack of that which is wanted. As a nation, you live the balance of your thought. As an individual, you live the balance of your thought. As an Indian nation, you live the balance of your thought.